Imagine a drink that gives you an adrenaline rush, that gives you strength or courage to go and fight the war or to run away from the war, both of which requires strength, but without any side effects or intoxication. Does modern science or any of these chemical substances or formulation know any of such a drink? I don't think so. But it is mentioned in Rigveda. Welcome to your own channel Boli and Rigveda series, where we try to decode logic behind beliefs. Today's video we are going to talk about Som or Somaras. But let me give you a disclaimer first. Whatever I speak in this video is my interpretation or how I have understood based on whatever research I have done. It is not plain facts, or I can't claim that to be 100% true. There are multiple associations or interpretations of Somaras. We will go through them one by one. We will talk about three interpretations. One, the literal one. Second, the association with moon. And third, the association with psychology. Let's begin with the first literal meaning. In Rigveda, the entire 9th mandal is dedicated to Som or Somaras. So Som is a plant out of which a juice is extracted, pressed, filtered and consumed, which gives strength, courage and immortality as well as health. Somaras is declared as a ritual drink of a psychedelic plant. It is described as flowing, golden, radiant, filtered through wool and purified. It increases perception, awareness, insight. It removes fear and energizes Indra. It doesn't sound like drunkenness. It sounds like optimization. It is not an escapism, but it sounds like more of activation plus elevation. बहुत ज़्यादा English words use हो गए. It means if Indra drank loads and loads of Som, and if it would be an intoxicated substance like alcohol, he would not be able to go and fight with Vritra. But it increased his awareness, it increased his courage, it increased his dopamine or adrenaline rush without any side effects. Many researchers or many people are going to the Himalayas and trying to find this type of plants and trying to find Somaras, but they are not completely successful. Some of them have found some type of plants and have found the effects of Somaras, but the process of it is really complicated, which is not yet discovered. This is similar to Homeras in Parsis. They have similar type of juice, similar type of plant description, similar type of purification process. That means that it might have existed. Second is its association with moon. This was not during the Rigvedic period, but in the later periods, Somaras was associated to moon and Som was associated with moon. In fact, moon was called the Som king. The waxing and waning of moon is associated with gods consuming Somaras. So during the new moon, the Somaras was consumed, or the moon was consumed, and during the full moon or during the Purnima, it gets replenished. Now third, and our favorite, let's look at it from a psychological perspective or a symbolic perspective, just as we did in Indra, where we found that it is activation from within. Now imagine moments where time slows down, doubts or fears disappear, where your performance rises. Modern neuroscience calls it neurochemical optimization. Ancient India called it Som. When your brain experiences deep focus or inspiration, it releases dopamine, endorphins, serotonin, oxytocin. These chemicals create elevation, energy, fearlessness, clarity. Now imagine a civilization that didn't have a word dopamine. How would they describe this state, or how would they explain this experience? They called it Som, which is not a molecule but a state. Now here's something more fascinating. Somaras is not something easily found. It is pressed, extracted, purified, and hence peak states or peak mental states are not casually found. They are cultivated. You press yourself through discipline, ritual, repetition, chant, focus. The pressing could represent effort, and the filtration could represent refinement of mind. Okay, all this is very confusing. Let's take an example. Example very simple of our last video, Indra, where we told that Indra might psychologically be activation among or inside of you. Imagine Indra is activation and Somaras or Som as elevation. Activation without elevation means aggression. Ki bas activation hai. The energy is just flowing. But there is no elevation or there is no intelligence to control that energy. It becomes aggression. only elevation, that is only Som. Without activation, that is Indra, becomes a fantasy. We are just elevating ourselves but not doing anything about it. That is a fantasy. But when these both get combined, what do you get? You get focused power. You get courage plus clarity. You get energy plus intelligence. This might not be mythological storytelling. It might be model of human optimization. Today people chase dopamine through instant gratifications, like short videos, scrolling, like addictions, distractions. But Som is not a cheap stimulation. It is not something you stumble upon. It is something you earn. It is cultivated elevation. When you train your focus, when you build discipline, when you push your limits, that elevated clarity, that might be Som for you. Now the interesting question is, if Indra is activation, Som is elevation, then what is the battlefield where all of this happened? Out in the sky or inside human consciousness? In the next episode, we are going to talk about the arena of Rigveda, and it might change how you view ancient India.